Hey, so this is a different kind of devotion today. I've been thinking about this for a few days, and I thought I would do a video devotion today just to better illustrate the point that I want to make. But in Hebrews chapter 12, starting in verse 5, we're instructed as believers in Jesus Christ not to disregard, not to try to run or to veer away from God's discipline, because God disciplines those whom He loves. And a couple weeks ago, I was working in my yard, and my wife and I have been working harder this year than any year before since we've lived in our current home to make our yard nice, make our back deck and our porch area nice, and to just to have a fun, creative atmosphere in our home where we can have people in our home and we can do life together. Our kids will enjoy it. And we've been doing a lot of different projects, and I'm going to walk with you for just a second, because a couple weeks ago, I noticed that some work that I had previously done now needed to be done again. And quite frankly, I was a little irritated about it. So last year, one week, some neighbors and myself, we got together and we pruned a bunch of trees. We trimmed down a bunch of low branches and cut off a bunch of low riding branches that were in our faces. And 3 different neighbors, we all got together with chainsaws and we did a bunch of trimming, and then we took a bunch of tree branches out to one guy's family farm and did a big burn pile. And here on this tree that I trimmed last year, I have all of these new branches growing in that have to be pruned and they have to be trimmed again. They're all over the lower part of this tree and on several other trees that I have in my yard. And as I was working in the yard, like I said, a couple weeks ago, it dawned on me that that's regular work that has to be done. Regular pruning has to be done. Regular trimming has to be done in order for my trees to stay in good shape. And God began to speak to me about the fact that often when we learn a lesson in the Spirit, when God teaches us something, we think, man, I learned that lesson. I've got that thing under control. I've got that licked now. I don't have to worry about that anymore. But being disciplined in the Lord and having discipline in the Holy Spirit is a regular growth process. It's constant work. It's regular pruning. You might need to learn the same lesson 2 or 3 times again. Does that mean that you're disobedient or that you're defiant to the Lord? No. But are you willing to lean in and allow the Holy Spirit to do the regular pruning that needs to be done so that you can live righteously unto Christ? That's something that's been stirring in my heart over the last couple weeks. And my kids and I, we spent a lot of time outside, and my wife has planted flowers, and we've got hanging baskets, and I made a new porch swing, and we've been doing all this work and enjoying our yard. And I keep looking over at these dadgum trees and realizing I'm gonna have to trim those branches back again. I just did the work last year, and it was a lot of work. We trimmed a lot of big branches and cut them up and burned them, and it was a day and a half worth of work. And now here, a year later, I've got to deal with these dumb branches again. So I want to ask you this question. What is it that God is pruning in your life right now? Maybe you've already gone through that lesson once, but it's reared its face again. It needs to be dealt with again. Don't disregard, don't push away, don't try to avoid the discipline of the Lord, because the Lord only disciplines those whom He loves. That's Hebrews 12:6. I hope this blesses you today. Go be blessed and endure some good pruning, because God cares for you and He has His best for you if you will endure the trimming. Have a good day.